is enough said.
Happy Taco Tuesday, Heat Nation. Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Before we get to today's topic, you guys, please support the channel, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just a heads up, we are almost 100 subscribers away from the big 5,000. So I need all hands on deck. November 1st is this Friday. Remember the challenge, guys. Y'all get me to 5,000 subscribers by this Friday. I'll do a $50 giveaway this Saturday on a live video. Now, together, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Now, I did post a short about it last night, but just to touch up on it, the Miami Heat do business last night against the Detroit Pistons. The Heat win 106-98 with an incredible fourth quarter. And I gotta say, even though the Detroit Pistons are 0-4, this is a different Detroit team. You know, JB Bickerstaff as their new head coach, you're seeing a better offense. You're seeing a better defense. Cade Cunningham looks a lot more comfortable out there. I think Detroit has a nice little future. I think JB Bickerstaff was the right choice. I know they've had a lot of coaches the last 10 years, so this might be a good pickup for them. So good for Detroit fans. But I mean, last night you get a really solid contribution from your starting lineup. You know, from what we've seen these last three games, the starting lineup is, it's pretty good. You got Nikola Jovic with 6 points, 2 for 5 from the field, but he hits 2 3-point shots. So he's showing that he can definitely stretch the court. He only plays 14 minutes. So that's not something I'm really happy about. I'd love Nikola Jovic to get about 20 to 25 minutes a game. But then you have a great game by guys like Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero, who lead this Miami Heat offense. Jimmy Butler with 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a whopping 4 steals. You know, Jimmy Butler is showing that he's motivated. You know, he's scored over 20 points these last 2 games. So you're getting a very motivated Jimmy Butler. This is something that we hope to see throughout the duration of the season. But he's played in all 3 games so far, so that's a good thing as well. You also get 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists from Terry Rozier. T-Row is looking very comfortable in this offense. He's actually leading the Miami Heat in scoring so far this season. So this is a big deal because towards the end of last season, you didn't know what Terry Rozier's neck issues were going to be, how serious it was. Was it going to affect his play? Glad to see that it's not. Tyler Hero with 19 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 for 20 for the field, 3 for 12 from the 3-point line. I'm loving the confidence that Tyler Hero has shooting these threes. But when you're going that cold, maybe stop it. But I will say that even though with a not great 3-point shooting game, Tyler Hero and Terry Rozier, both with 33 minutes of play, are showing that they are the best choice for your starting backcourt. I know we all had questions toward the offseason and going into the season. Should Tyler Hero be the 6th man? It's working with Tyler and Terry starting. I just hope this is something we continue to see moving forward. I don't think any changes should be made to the starting lineup right now. I think it's good enough. You may need to tweak Nikola Jovic starting later on towards the season. But I like Nico starting at the 4 next to Bam. I think it's good enough. Is it the best option that we have? No. But it's good enough to start this season. Kevin Love is not playing due to personal reasons. Kel'el Ware's not really cracking the rotation. So this is good enough. Now, I will say this, in 3 games of play, you're seeing who our 6th man is. Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jaime Jaquez has had 3 very good games in my opinion. I know the last game against Charlotte, he only had 6 points, but he also got 6 rebounds. So he's showing that even on the offensive end, if he's not having a huge game, he can contribute in other ways. But last night, he had a very great game. 33 minutes off the bench, being your leading player off the bench. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, a plus 15 out there. He also goes 2 for 3 from the 3-point line, gets 10 attempts on the field goal, 5 for 10. This is what I want to see Jaime Jaquez do. Take that initiation, take that role as the 6th man, be that guy. Because now that Caleb Martin is not here, now that your bench has kind of lacked without Tyler Hero with the firepower as your 6th man, Jaime Jaquez is going to be that guy. So I'm loving that he's taking that initiation. You also have 6 points from Duncan Robinson, 4 points from Haywood Highsmith, 4 points from Thomas Bryant. Now, this whole thing with Thomas Bryant being the backup center for Bam Adebayo right now, I don't get it. I don't like it. It's not my favorite choice. 1 second. It's not my favorite choice, you guys. I've said this so many times before. Kel'el Ware needs to be the backup center, and the more that I'm seeing Thomas Bryant out there, the more that it's proving to me. Now look, Thomas Bryant is a plus 11 out there. He's fine. I'm not saying he's a terrible player, but we need Kel'el Ware to get some time out there. Now, I've said it before. I understand. He's a rookie. He's only 20. He has a raw game. He needs to, learn the defensive scheme better. He needs to learn the offensive scheme better. But Kel'el Ware gives you something that you don't have coming off the bench. Defensive and rebounding presence. If you look at our bench, the player that had the most rebounds off the bench was Haywood Highsmith with 4 rebounds. Haywood Highsmith is 6'5". That's kind of stretching it. He might be 6'4". But I think Kel'el Ware can give you something off the bench that none of these players can give you. Rebounding and a hell of a block shotter. But I know Kel'el Ware is going to get his opportunity later in the season. It just sucks that when you pick this guy in the first round with the 15th pick, and he's not even playing regular season games. So it's disappointing, but Heat Nation, don't rip your hair off yet. I think he's going to play more towards the mid part of the season. But Thomas Bryant's not him. Thomas Bryant is not that backup center off the bench. 13 minutes, 4 points, 2 rebounds. That's my honest opinion. But the person that I want to talk about today, the topic of this video, you guys, that I want to get to is the man's jersey that I have on right now, Bam Adebayo. Because in these first 3 games of the NBA season, of the Miami Heat regular season, I think we've been shown a lot with Bam Adebayo. Now, last night, Bam Adebayo, he has a solid game. He plays 35 minutes, gives you 12 points, 10 rebounds, another double-double, his second of the season. He also gives you 4 assists, 3 blocks, 3 steals. 5 for 9 for the field, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. Now, I know Heat Nation is going to look at these stats, and they're going to think, what the hell is wrong with Bam Adebayo? What's wrong with Bam this season? You're not looking at the fact that he gives you 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 block shots, which is incredible. But then you look at Bam Adebayo's numbers for this season. He's played 3 games. He's averaging only 11 points a game, 8.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists. He is averaging 1.3 blocks and 1.3 steals a game. These are technically career high averages. But I will say this, Bam Adebayo's offensive game this season has not been what we all thought it was going to be. I understand that he's averaging just 11 points a game this season, but his field goal percentage is god-awful. For his career, he averages about 55%. This season, he's only averaging 38.7%, and he has not hit a 3-point shot this season. The big thing this offseason was Bam's going to start hitting threes. Bam's going to be a shooter. Bam's going to be that guy. He's been shooting them, but he hasn't connected in one. So I do think this is just struggling. It's just Bam struggling. I do think he's going to pick it up. Look for the game this Wednesday against New York. I think Bam is going to have a big breakout game. But one thing I will say about this, you guys, and I understand for people that don't really watch Miami Heat basketball and don't pay attention to the little things, will look at Bam Adebayo's numbers and think he's trash. Bam is not that guy. But Bam is just a super role player. He's never going to be that guy. But I want to take something else into account. Look at what Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, and Jimmy Butler have been doing this season, you guys. All of them have been scoring pretty much more than 15 points every game, with the exception of the first game where Jimmy Butler had only 8 points. But I think Bam Adebayo this year, you guys, because I said it before the season, Bam needs to be your number 1 option. He's not doing that well offensively. But what has Bam been doing lately? He's been taking the Draymond Green role. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, when Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors, they had a 3-headed juggernaut on offense. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Draymond Green took a backseat in the offense, but he started doing everything else. Rebounding, assisting, steals, blocks, the best defensive player on the team, being that presence. That is what Bam Adebayo is doing on this team. He's not averaging 20 to 25 points a game because he doesn't have to. Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, and Jimmy Butler are taking care of that. Now, this team would be a lot better. We would definitely be 3-0 if Bam's offensive game would have been on fire the first part of the season. Because at the end of the day, had Bam be hitting more of his shots, if Bam was averaging his regular 55% from the field this season, his averages will probably be about 15 to 16 points. It's the fact that he's missing a lot of these shots. It's the fact that he's taking more three-point shots. But this is just, like I said, a slump. Bam's going to break out of it. When you watch this offensive team, you guys, I'm loving it because I do see the potential there. Bam Adebayo, if he starts having better offensive games with Terry, Tyler, and Jimmy Butler doing what they're doing, you're going to see a better offensive team. Give it time, Heat Nation. Don't get ready to, blow this team up yet. Don't call this team ass. Don't call this team trash yet. Because at the end of the day, we're 2-1. We're 2-1. We got a game against New York. That's going to be the true test. That's going to be the test. Because if you play against New York and you flop and get your ass whooped, then what's going to happen? Everybody's going to say that we're another mid-play-in crap team. Because the two teams that you beat were Detroit and Charlotte. And the two teams you lost to were Orlando and New York. However, you play against New York this Wednesday, you beat them, you go 3-1, you shock everybody. Everybody's not going to call you this basic-ass team. So I think this Wednesday is very important for the Miami Heat. I think the Heat need to go to New York with a mindset that this is a must-win game. Because at the end of the day, you guys, if we lose and you can think, oh, it's just the fourth game of the season, you're 2-2. Look at last year. 2 games is what separated the Miami Heat from the 8th seed to the 4th seed. You need to take the regular season seriously. And I love the approach that Jimmy Butler has had this season, and I hope it continues. But my opinion, you guys, in conclusion, to close this off, I think Bam Adebayo is going to be just fine. I'm proud of Bam Adebayo for taking that captain role, for stepping up and saying, hey guys, do you, and I'm going to do all the little necessary things. He's taking that Draymond Green approach because nobody else on this team can do that. And then another thing I want to talk about, you guys, is what Spo decided with the closing lineup yesterday. I loved it. Bam, Jaime Jaquez, Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier, and Tyler Hero. That's a great closing lineup. We just need to get Kel'el Ware out there more. I think if Kel'el Ware plays more on this team, you guys, I think we're going to be that much better defensively. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. Are you panicking about Bam Adebayo's numbers, or do you think like me? Bam Adebayo is doing the right thing as the captain for this team and allowing other players to be good, and he covers all the little things. That's what Bam does. He's not a superstar. He's not a guy that's going to average 30 points a game. But you have a lot of players that can, and Bam can take up the other things. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Do y'all think the Heat are going to win this Wednesday? Let me know in the comments. And remember, do not forget, this Friday, November 1st, if y'all get me to 5,000 subscribers, I'll do a $50 giveaway this Saturday on a live video. Thank you guys. Appreciate support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out. And that is enough said. Let's go Heat.